Turning to the race for council member Ward 1, Brad Greskowiak has 4,439 votes. His challenger, Shalonda Ship Gordon, with 1,962. So that's a 68 about to 30%. And Brad is joining us now. Welcome.
Hi, Steve.
How does it feel to be the unofficial winner again here in Ward 1?
Well, of course, it feels good. I mean, I'm certainly honored to receive the support of the residents in Ward 1, and I'm looking forward to another 4-year term on the council and doing the work that our residents require.
All right. Tell us a little about yourself for folks that don't know you.
Yeah. Well, Brad Greskowiak, I live up in Ward 1 on the north side of town, and I've been a 32-year resident of the city of Coon Rapids. I served one term, was elected in 2016. I have 4 children, a beautiful wife, and we really enjoy Coon Rapids, and I think Coon Rapids has a lot going for it, and I understand things like this don't happen just by accident, so I wanted to step up and serve our community.
What made you decide to kind of run for a second term here?
That's a great question, Steve. And it's actually one of I think the most interesting questions I got as I campaigned and I knocked on a lot of doors. That question, why would you want to do this? Because, I mean, a lot of people do realize that it's kind of a thankless job, right? Especially for a person with a large family and a full-time job. But really, the number one reason why I want to do this, Steve, is a sense of community civic engagement. I understand that our form of government takes engaged citizens, and it's exactly why I wanted to step up and fill this role. That and the fact that I have 4 years experience on the council, I thought it gave me a nice balanced set of background to serve my neighbors.
All right. So you did a lot of door knocking during the campaign season here. What kind of was the message from folks that you talked to out there?
I did a lot of door knocking. I didn't do as much as I did 4 years ago because of the restraints and the COVID issues. But that door knocking, I think, is a key part, especially in a local race like this, because you get to actually engage with residents and things like that. So a lot of the same type of issues that I hear when people email me or call me on the council. Folks are concerned with, a lot of time it's speed or the traffic flow. Things like, can I get a stop sign? And then we engage with our city engineers on that. Parking issues. A lot of those issues that really do affect all of us. Not a lot of questions about the big stuff, all the public infrastructure and the roads and the city and the water and things like that. But love to hear from those folks and just be engaged at that level and advocate for them for some change and some actions that would be required.
All right. So you've been on the council for one term, which is 4 years. Anything you're most proud of over that time or having helped accomplish here in the city?
Well, I think there's a lot of accomplishments, really. One of the main things is I really like to see what's happening on Coon Rapids Boulevard. When I was elected on the council, that boulevard was in pretty tough shape, and it had been for a number of years. And to see the development on both sides, in both ports on Coon Rapids Boulevard, I think is one of the big achievements. And then, well, I saw the groundbreaking all the way through completion of the Hanson Bridge, and the safety improvements that affords our community is just excellent. So there have been a lot of things. I think the last 4 years we've seen quite a bit of development in Coon Rapids as well. Business development, job development, economic development. So those types of things are all parts of this job that I am proud of.
All right. Anything that you didn't get accomplished in the first 4 years that you hope gets accomplished here in your second term?
Well, one of the things that I'd like to accomplish in the second term is taking a look at clean energy options for our city. So I've been doing some research, and it looks like there are opportunities for us to most likely install some type of solar array or things like that on city-owned property and save our constituents some money at the same time as provide that clean energy option into Coon Rapids. So that's something that is fairly new on our radar, but something I'd like to move forward with.
All right. There is one thing I know from watching the meetings with you is that you are always paying a close attention to the financial impacts here to the city.
Yeah, that's a great point, Steve. And in fact, when I was knocking on doors, a lot of people did comment on that. They like the way that I'm asking those questions. A lot of those questions, the rest of the council already has the information on, but the general public doesn't really see the information in the packet and how we develop the stance that we're getting to and why we're spending the money that we are. And I just like to ask those questions more than just for my own knowledge and my own benefit, but to benefit the viewers and the folks that are paying attention to the city council meetings. And that is appreciated by the residents of Ward 1.
All right. What are the priorities of the city and the city council kind of going in here to 2021? Kind of 2020 has been a tough year for everyone, obviously, budget-wise and all of that. What are some of the top priorities here going into 2021?
Well, in 2020, we developed our comprehensive plan that'll take us out for the next 10 years. So we've got a pretty defined set of what we want to do over the next 10 years. But specifically in 2021, one of the main goals with our 2021 levy was to keep it as flat as possible. I advocated for a 0% levy increase in 2021 just because of the unknowns and the factors that have really led to the environment that we're in with COVID and all of that. However, in looking at that, one of the biggest concerns that I heard or feedback that I got from residents was the need to ensure that we're fully funding our police and our fire and our first responders. So with that, in 2021, we are adding 1 police and 1 fire, as well as 1 embedded social worker into the police department. We're sharing that expense with Blaine. But those are some of the big things. Moving on. The levy, police and fire, and then of course, maintaining all of our public infrastructure. We've been pretty proactive on that over the course of the last 15 years, and we're going to continue that into 2021. Roads, bridges, public infrastructure.
All right. Well, anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, again, I just would like to thank the residents of Ward 1. I'm honored again to serve and be elected as our representative, and I look forward to advocating on their behalf for another 4 years.
All right. Well, congratulations on being the unofficial winner here in Ward 1. We appreciate you talking to us, and we'll talk to you again soon, I imagine.
Thank you, Steve.